Hey YouTube, I'm posting a second video for today. I just saw a video and I thought I'd seen all of Rob's videos, Apostle P's videos, and I got a lot of I like Apostle P. He got a good channel. He's got a lot of good videos. Like I said in previous videos, he's got a good sharpening service. I've seen the knives that he's had, the polished edges and things that he does. I did, however, watch a video today that I completely disagree with his thoughts on something. Um, it was a video about don't fall into the Chinese knives and don't support Chinese knives, and he was talking about knockoff knives and clone knives. And I do agree. I don't. I hate seeing someone get their intellectual rights stolen or getting their design stolen. But China doesn't adhere to a lot of the same rules that we try to, and to I I don't see it as fair. I don't like the guys that I see a lot of videos of guys buying knives and clone knives and trying to compare them to what they are, trying to compare them to actual Striders, trying to compare them to Chris Reeves Sabenzas. And I've got a Sabenza. I actually have a video I'm gonna post before too long. I'm gonna get it together. I'm trying to figure out how I want to put it together. None of my videos are ever scripted. I just get up here and I talk. And sometimes the better videos, the one that my friends always enjoy is the videos that I send them after I've had a few drinks, because I'm a little bit lubricated and I'll say things that they want to see me say that are funny and offend a lot of other people. But that's why I'm real careful these days about what I put. I had a video, I had a YouTube channel before, and I took it down because not anything real offensive. It's just I'm a back-ass country boy, and I say things that not everybody approves of. But anyway, back to the video. I go on these little rants and tangents. It's just because you're watching me put my thoughts on video, and I was uncomfortable with it at first. But like I said, John Grimsmo said that getting your face out there was good, and it's actually kind of interesting. It allows me something to do. But back to the video. Okay, back to the video. Apostle P posted a video about not falling into the Chinese knives trap and not supporting these Chinese knives, and he mentioned a couple of companies that are really good companies, and they're putting out really high quality Kinzer knives and Rant knives. And I have a Rant knife. I have I have a Horizon D with the carbon fiber and titanium. And what I want to make sure that everybody's really clear on is David Deng is not taking American designs or taking American jobs and sending them overseas. David Deng is Chinese. His factory is in China. He's born and raised in China. I've talked to him. He's a great guy. He's not stealing anyone's design. This is Dave's design. Dave came up with this design for the Horizon. If you've seen any of his Horizon knives, you know they're amazing. Still takes a backseat to my DOC, but it's an amazing knife. Awesome. M390 steel. It's dirty. I was using it to cut something earlier. The stonewash. I've never had a knife that has stonewash that was still polished. it's kind of like being hard and soft at the same time. I don't know how you do it. It's flawless. It's flawless. And I'm gonna say something right now, and I love John Grimsmo. This is who inspired me to do these videos. The way before, when I would do videos, you saw my hands and you saw me working, and now you see my face and you see me doing things to the camera. These knives that David Deng makes remind me so much of what John Grimsmo's doing, and I mean they're not as you're never John Grimsmo's knives. Grimsmo knives are the gold standard compared to even, I know people try to say, oh, they're not mid-tech and they're not custom, and I don't care what you want to call them. They're the gold standard for knives, period. Period, for folding knives. You're not going to find a knife with a better action, with a smoother pivot, with better attention to detail. The only knife you're going to get that comes close on a production level is this. And yes, it's made in China. Yes, Apostle P, I'm sorry. I've got this. I would buy this knife over again. Even if I didn't know it was made in China and then you told me later, it wouldn't matter. The flipping action is amazing. Ceramic pivot. You get you get all the bells and whistles that you get in a custom knife for $400. And I don't understand where the complaint is. And I do know, like I said, I do know that there are companies that are out there that are strictly 100% out there to knock off knives. And yes, it does irritate me that people buy these and then they review them on YouTube trying to say, well, I'd never buy a real one because it's $400, but I like to feel, you know what? Then you shouldn't have you should have just forgot that it even exists. If you aren't willing to pay the money and pay the cost to the maker, then you shouldn't have you should just pretend it doesn't exist because they're the ones that came up with that design. But to turn around and knock a company just strictly because they're in China, I don't agree. I do not agree with that. Kinzer knives, I've held a couple of them. They're great knives. They're just the designs aren't designs that I want or would carry. And I've noticed that I always look at myself in the camera, so I'm always looks like I'm looking over here. I apologize. I'll get that figured out. I'll start looking this way. Maybe I'll just flip the phone over. But you can't. I mean, quality is quality. If you have an amazing quality of a knife, just to say you're not going to buy it because it came from China, well, I don't want to offend anybody, but that's fucking stupid. It just is. And Apostle P's, he's a good guy, good American, religious man like me. But I'm sorry. I think in this one, you're off base. You are off base. So I bought this knife. I've talked to Dave Deng several times, not face to face, not over the phone, but I mean, I've Instagrammed back and forth with him. I love this knife. This is the knife that if my Microtech's not in my pocket, this is the knife that'll be there. And it sits on my bedstand, and I'll grab it in the morning. It's light. I like it because it's light. It is very light. It's titanium on one side, carbon fiber on the other. The only steel that's in the knife is the blade, and it's right there. Nice balance. You can't sequester yourself from looking at things just because you've associated every Chinese company with the knockoffs that come out of China. One of the big problems I've seen, I'll touch on it on the video. I'll bring it out and I'll show you. I've got a neighbor that his stepmother, they had a falling out. She kicked him out. She had a big box of knives that some of the knives I recognized because he'd asked me if I could get them for him because I knew where I could get them cheap, but I got him a couple of nice Spydercos. But in the box, I saw, I thought, man, I really lucked out. I saw a couple of Strider box. I saw a Strider box and a couple of Chris Reeves knives boxes. And I was like, wow. Turns out the kid's been buying knockoffs. And I am going to do a video about knockoffs because I bought them unintentionally. But to set out and buy something, it's straight out theft. It's out and out theft. It's you have guys out there and since I'm here and I'm doing this, I posted something on Instagram, and this is going to be something separate. This is my little rant and my little tirade that I'm going to go on in the middle of a video about something else. There's a seller on Amazon. His name is Tibet. I don't know if it's a man. I don't know if it's a woman. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's selling from, but he's selling strict knockoffs. And the problem is there's a difference between a copy and a knockoff. A copy is, a copy is almost flatter. You're not using marks. There's differences between that knife and the actual knife. Now, the knives that this guy's selling, and he's selling them on Amazon, are strict 100% knockoffs, clones. He's using the manufacturer's name. He's using Marfione Custom. He's using Microtech. He's using the companies that have made a name for themselves, and he's using that name, and he's selling these knives on Amazon. Now, when I get upset is because I've noted that these are fakes. They're 100% fakes. You can tell because of the price he's selling them for. But I've notified Amazon several times that they need to take this seller down because he's selling counterfeit knives. And they've refused. And then I got really upset because I posted a review. I gave it a 1 star because they won't still give less than 1. 1 star review saying don't buy this knife. It's strictly a knockoff. It's 100% a counterfeit. You're stealing. You are buying something that is fake. Be warned. And I got an email from Amazon stating, we're sorry, we cannot post your review as is. So, as much as I like Amazon, I'm pretty much on a one-man boycott. Feel free to join me, but I'm not buying anything from Amazon for a while until they come to grips with the fact that they need to protect not just their sellers, that's who they're protecting. They're not protecting their buyers. You're not protecting your customers. You're protecting your sellers. I got news for you. Fuck the seller. The customer's who matters. You send me a knife and I screw your knife up, I'm not going to have good business anymore. I'm going to get bad reviews, and people are going to post things. Say, hey, don't send your knives to that gun monkey guy. He'll screw them up. The customer is the important part. There's the ones that's making them money. It's not the sellers. It's the buyers, but they're not trying to protect their customers. So there's my little rant and my tangent about, God, it makes me so mad. Because the flip side is I know some of these people. I've made friends with some of the people in the knife world, and they're nice. Everybody in the knife world's nice people. Murray Carter, great guy. My daughter and I found out that Fair and Forge Knife Works is here in San Diego. Chris and Elliot, some of the nicest guys I've ever met. And then to turn around and see these people that you've met and you know, and you now are wanting to consider friends. I mean, to see them getting ripped off, and then a big seller, a big company, not wanting to do a thing about it, pisses me off. Makes me much madder than Apostle P talking about Dave Dang's knives. So I didn't mean to get into that tirade. That was supposed to be saved for another video, and the rest of it will come out in the other video. But I saw a video, and it kind of prompted me to send a second video today. In case you haven't noticed, I pretty much have a YouTube uniform now. My daughter pointed that out, that when it's chilly, I grab my sweatshirt. I always wear my hat, so I have a YouTube uniform. So we may see some changes to the uniform. But no, I just want to get out there. Dave Dang's knives are amazing. Kinzer knives are amazing. They don't have designs that really, that speak to me. Sometimes they're smaller. I don't like the locks. Some of them are slip joints. Quality material. Quality hand, manufacturing work. Dave's knives, my goodness, that you're not, like I said, unless you're buying a Grimsmo, you're not going to find. I mean, let's rephrase. There are guys out there making custom knives that are amazing. Well, I say that, but you know what? I don't really think they are. I don't think they're much better than John's knives. Like I said, it's the gold standard. It is the gold standard. I don't own one yet. I'm going to. We're talking about it. I've talked to him back and forth on Instagram. I'm going to own one. He's already kind of quoted me a price. He knows I want a custom engraving. Just waiting on him to open a Norseman. The Rasks look amazing, but I've got knives like that. The Norseman is unique, and I've sharpened a couple. I've maintained a couple for people, and they're amazing. Amazing. I almost wanted to tell the guy it got lost in the mail. Closest I've ever come to stealing from someone was when that knife had to go back out the door. Matter of fact, I held on to it for 3 days. 3 days. 3 days it sat on my counter, and I kept looking, and I was like, I got to send that man his knife back. And it was almost like when you babysit somebody's puppy when you were a kid, and the dog had to go home, and you didn't want the dog to go home. That's about what it was, and I made that decision that day. I'm gonna have one. So, John, if you're watching, the gold standard, I'm telling you, I've $1,400 knives in my safe in there, and yours is the gold standard. So, don't buy into the counterfeit Chinese trap. I would say that and agree with that with Apostle P. But when you're talking about specific companies, Dave's company, I don't know who owns Kinzer Knives, but Kaiser Knives? Kaiser Knives. I'm sorry. I've been saying it. I've been drinking. It's possible I screwed it up just twice. Oh, so good. But Dave's Knives are amazing. And talking to him, he's such a nice, down-to-earth guy. If you talk to him on Instagram, he'll answer you back, just like John Grimsmo. Another tangent. Customer service. I don't even own a John Grimsmo knife. I'm not even a customer yet. And the man responds. Fair and Forge Knife Works. My daughter found that place that was up there. She wanted to go. She loves knives. We go up there. Direct message them on Instagram. Always. They're funny guys. They're great guys. They answer back. There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that. And people pay. People will pay a lot to have that. To have that customer interaction with the manufacturer. Not with a customer service representative. With the man that made your knife. You can't beat it. And I see now where John said that this helped his business, because people see that. People see how much he puts into his work. His Knife Making Tuesday videos really put it out there. Dave Dang doesn't do that. He does have a lot of Instagram stuff. And mainly, I would count it up to the fact that Dave's Chinese. He might not have the greatest English. As a matter of fact, I did get a hold of customer service folks one time, and I think that's what the lady told me. But when I talked to David Dang on Instagram, I got him. Got Jum Grinsmo, the guys at Fair and Fork Knife Works. My daughter loves going up there. Those guys are amazing. They show her all kinds of stuff. But don't steal from the good guys. That's basically this tirade that I went on goes back to. Don't steal from the good guys. These are all good people, awesome people, and people are like, oh, these guys are making $600-800 knives. I don't know if you know this. Most knife makers are just barely keeping the lights on, because you're seeing a $600 knife. They're seeing water jet, CNC machining, bead blast machine, keeping the lights on, them spending the time to build the knife. Elliot Williamson at Fair and Forge sometimes work 120 hours a week. 120 hours a week. Most people don't even work 40 when you get down to it. You know, they may have a 40-hour-a-week job. They ain't working 40 hours. 120 hours a week, because he loves what he does. And if you're, I haven't seen a knockoff Fair and Forge Knife Works, but if you're buying a counterfeit, you're stealing from that man, who is an awesome person. So, just kind of to tie it up, I don't disagree with the don't buy counterfeits. 100% don't. But I also do not agree with the let's boycott the Chinese companies, because if you're doing a quality job, you deserve what you get. You've earned that. You've earned your props. You should have your recognition. So that's 18 minutes. I'm sorry. This was not intended to be an 18-minute video. This is my second video of the day. It may be because I've been drinking, but I'm passionate about knives, and now that I know more people in the knife community, and now, wow, I've met people that are big in the knife world, with Elliot and Chris, and I talked to Jim Skeleton on Instagram from time to time, direct message. They're amazing people. And you don't get like those people that are so recognized in a community to be that down to earth and just talk to the average Joe shit the rag man retired Navy guy that sharpens some knives here and there. It's amazing. So, like I said, once again, this is amazing that I've gotten myself to where I have this interaction. I don't have very many followers, but it feels like I'm actually talking to the public and getting my thought process out. And so, if you like it, keep sending me requests for videos. I'll make videos as long as it doesn't, as long as I don't have to take my clothes off or do anything stupid like put jelly on my head, So just if you guys just enjoy watching a dumbass country boy rant and rave about stuff, just keep watching. I'll keep doing it. All right. So once again, second time for the evening. Have a good weekend and enjoy yourself.